Welcome to our 2024 real estate forecast, where we're going to talk about 2023 and sort of a recap of who is buying, who is selling, and where are we going from here. Stay tuned for the end of the video, where I'm going to share with you some of the top neighborhoods. We're going to talk about builder incentives, seller incentives, and things that can affect you if you're thinking about buying or even thinking about selling as well. So when we look back at 2023, the head scratcher is it was a roller coaster of a market. We had times that we were peaking, we thought we were coming out of things, and then we went flat, and then we even seen some drops. Who was moving? It was empty nesters. Empty nesters won the mark when it come to people that were making a move. Typically, it was because they were not affected by interest rates. When you look in general of home ownership, over 38% of people that own a home, that home is paid for. Of all home ownership, 50% of them have at least 50% equity. So when you look at those people thinking about making a move and selling their home, interest rates aren't going to affect them. And in many cases, they were able to take advantage of maybe a builder opportunity, a builder incentive, as well as even a seller that was particularly motivated and had to move because of a lifestyle change, and this other seller was able to come in and take advantage of that opportunity. So looking at where are we now and where were we going to go in 2024, what we've seen is a continued ramp up in inventory. We know that inventory is low, and a lot of the builders have been trying to fill in the gaps on those inventory pieces. When you look at our northern Colorado region, we've had a lot of growth, but with growth, there's a lot of planning involved. So these different developments, when you look at acquisition of ground, taking it through the land entitlements, and getting all to the point of digging the hole and putting sticks in the air, that process can be 18 to even 24 months or longer in many situations. So from a builder and a developer standpoint, it's really difficult for timing the market to hit that as far as inventory. So what we've seen is a lot of builders ramping up for inventory, but when their inventory hits a certain level, they start unloading that inventory and offering different incentives. But also that inventory is coming because, again, when you pull the permit, by the time you pull the permit and then you dig the hole, that could be 45, 60 days, and then another 12 months before the home is even done. So it's very difficult and challenging for these builders, but many of them are committed to the area and committed to where the market is and where the market is going. So we are definitely seeing some different incentives, and many of the builders, what they're seeing what their biggest play is interest rates and buying the rates down. We know that interest rates are going to come down. We know right now, in the month of January, we're sitting somewhere in that, 6 3/4, give or take. We anticipate that rates are going to probably by May are going to be below 6%. We know by the end of the year, we're probably going to be in the 5s. Many ask, well, Kevin, should I just wait until then? No. And what I mean by that is as interest rates continue to go down, we're going to continue to see a larger pool of buyers that are going to be reintroduced to the market because now they can qualify. So what we're seeing is a lot of these builders are buying interest rates down. In many situations, are buying down as low as even 4%. So buyers that are in a position to act now are getting lower interest rates. They're having, because of the builders and even many sellers that are resale, there's many different opportunities there also, and they're not having to compete with other offers. What we do predict is as we go through the summer, get into June, July, as we hit that top bell curve of our sales volume, we know that there's going to be a larger buyer pool, which means there's going to be more demand, which means inventory is going to go down, and we potentially may get back to competing offers, which no one wants, but unfortunately that might be the direction that we're going now. The other question is, besides builders, who's going to be selling in 2024? Well, what we know is we've had a lot of appreciation, which I'll get to the numbers here in just a few minutes, but we've had a lot of appreciation over the last 3, 5, 7 years. So many investors that have bought a home, maybe they occupied it and then turned it into a rental, or they bought it many, many years ago, and they've got to a point where they've really gained a lot of appreciation in equity. They want to cash out and go look at maybe retirement or doing something different. A lot of our other investors, they've owned these these homes for a long time and they've hit a point where maybe there's some maintenance that's going to be coming up, they would rather sell, cash in now, take that money, reallocate it to another investment. Maybe it's a new or newer home in an up and coming neighborhood. And then they're able to take that next ride and wave of appreciation as well. So a lot of different investment strategies, but that's one area that we do see a lot of investors that are going to be selling and maximizing the appreciation. The other thing is there's a lot of people that have had many lifestyle changes, but then they're waiting for the market to take that turn, for values to start going up because we've been sort of flat. But for many homeowners, unfortunately, they can't hold on any longer, and they were waiting to get through the holidays, and now they're going to be putting their home on the market again because of that lifestyle change. A lot of people ask, where will the growth be? Well, and where has it been? Well, what we've seen with these empty nesters, we have a lot of empty nesters that are wanting to downsize. There's some fear in the market. When you look at an empty nester, retirees, they're going to be much more conservative in their decisions and their financial decisions, and they're going to really want to protect their bucket of wealth. And so we see a lot of empty nesters are deciding to make a move down. So we're going to also see in a lot of the mature neighborhoods, we're going to be seeing opportunities there where we're going to be seeing homes hit the market that are going to be in those family-oriented neighborhoods where you can go in and have the opportunity to personalize the home, do some upgrades, and make it just the way you want it as well. When we talk about top areas of growth and price point, all of the areas, when you look at Fort Collins, Loveland, Greeley, those areas are all going to continue to grow. But it's all of the surrounding areas where you're going to see a lot of the growth, especially with new construction. So you're going to continue to see areas north of Fort Collins and a lot of growth there because that's where the available development dirt is. You're going to see areas in the Timnath area that we're going to see some growth there. Windsor's going to continue to grow, and that's spilling into the Severance area. And then Greeley has a lot of ground and development area left. Also, Greeley has acquired a lot of water and raw, which you need the raw water requirements when it comes to development. So Greeley's always going to be a hub for affordable real estate also. So one thing I want to do is take a look at the numbers. And when we look at the numbers and the growth, we look at Fort Collins. And in 2023, there was 2,068 homes that sold in Fort Collins with an average sales price of $679,000. We look back in 2022, there was 3,012 homes that sold in 2022. So that was 11% decline in sales volume from 2022 to 2023. One of the things I want to remind many people of when you look at that number and that big decrease is keep in mind with Fort Collins has become rather landlocked. There's not a lot of room for growth because they've hit their boundaries. So that's why you're seeing a spillover in surrounding areas like Wellington and Timnath especially. So when you look, if we were to dive into those numbers, you would actually see a huge increase in sales volume in those areas because, again, all of the new construction and the volume. So when you look at average sales price 2023 for Fort Collins, $679, you go to 2022, average sales price was $676. So not much of a change. But let's jump back to 2018. 2018, the average sales price was $453,000. That was a $226,000 increase from just in 5 years, 33% increase. Where can you go in 5 years and make $226,000 living in your investment? So just a pretty remarkable number there to take a look at. So now when we go to the next area, we'll jump over into Loveland. When we look at the Loveland numbers, in 2023, 1,857 homes sold in Loveland compared to in 2022, 2,274 homes sold. So that's an 18% decline. Another thing is, again, Loveland in certain areas has become rather landlocked, but we've seen a spillover in the Berthoud area. So a lot of growth in Berthoud, a very upcoming town and area just south of Loveland. When we look at average sales prices, $663,000 average sales price in Loveland last year. In 2022, $646,000. So that was a 2.5% increase in the average sales price. We go back to 2018, just 5 years ago. The average sales price back then, $436,000. 34% increase from 2018 to 2023. That's for those who bought $227,000 in. If you bought a home 5 years ago, you would have acquired $227,000 in appreciation. Another market that we'll take a look at is the Greeley market. In 2023, there was 3,574 homes that sold. In 2022, 4,675 homes that sold. Now we look at average sales price, 536,000 in 2023 average sales price. Going back to 2022, 533,000. So not much of a change in sales price there. But when we go to 2018, average sales price, $369,000. That was a 31% increase with appreciation in home value in a 5-year period, making it $167,000 in equity appreciation just in 5 years. So when you look at all of Northern Colorado, we've had a lot of growth. There's not many investments, not many places you can go where you have the opportunity to live in your investment. I just told a couple last night is they're moving here, thinking about renting. They've decided to move forward on purchasing a temporary home. Every mortgage payment they make is like making a deposit into your savings account of a couple $1,000s every month, knowing that when you sell in 12 months, 24 months, 24, 36 months, on average, you're going to be able to walk away with some nice appreciation living in your investment. So let's also talk about if you're selling. If you're selling in 2024, what's the opportunity? Well, we do know, I talked about with many of the investors, you've acquired a lot of appreciation in equity over the last 5 years. So does it make sense for you to sell? Yes, there's great opportunities. Take advantage, but you also want to stay in the marketplace. What I mean by that is reinvest, but also really look at some of the different upcoming areas and neighborhoods to make sure that you get in a safe neighborhood. So if we ever, we're going into we're going into an election year, so there's definitely some unknowns. So making sure that you're in a solid neighborhood that has nice amenities and also a good location that's going to be an easy commute for people that whether they're commuting down anywhere in the Front Range for places of employment, schools, and so forth. So we always want to take a strong look at the locations. The other thing is if you're buying, is it a good time to get in the market? Yes, it is. Why? Because there's builder incentives like we talked about. So you can get some great builder incentives where they can buy that interest rate down many times 5, even into the 4% range with a lot of the new construction opportunities. So if you like to get a list of some of the different builder incentives, we have a great list that we've acquired of some of the top neighborhoods, some of the different builders in the area that are offering incentives. So if you like a copy of that list, just simply scan the QR code and you can download that list, as well as if you like to look at other opportunities in the Northern Colorado area. We're obviously your local real estate professionals. We're here to help you and make sure that you in 2024 are able to accomplish all your real estate goals.